Albert Einstein opened his eyes. The last thing he remembered was writing equations across a classroom chalkboard. Now he found himself standing in the middle of a modern city. Glass towers stretched into the sky. Electric cars moved almost silently. Hundreds of people hurried past him, each staring at a glowing screen in their hand. Einstein watched them for a long moment. Then he quietly asked, "If every person carries the world's knowledge, why is nobody looking at the world?" Perhaps the greatest mystery of 2026 isn't technology. Perhaps it's us. A university student noticed the confused scientist and walked over with a smile. "You look lost." Einstein smiled politely. "No, I'm simply visiting the future." The student laughed. "Then let me show you around." He handed Einstein a smartphone. Einstein examined it carefully. "No buttons? No. How does it work? Ask it something." Einstein looked at the screen for a moment, then asked, "Why is the sky blue?" Before he finished lowering the phone, thousands of answers appeared. Scientific papers, videos, illustrations, university lectures. Einstein smiled. "I spent years understanding light." This answered in less than a second. The student opened a translation app. One sentence instantly appeared in 10 different languages. Einstein watched in amazement. "When I was young, language divided nations." He looked back at the screen. "Now it introduces them." The student nodded. "It makes the world much smaller." Einstein looked around at everyone carrying a phone. "So, knowledge is now available to almost everyone." It is. Einstein became thoughtful. Then, wisdom has become humanity's most valuable resource. The student looked at him curiously. Einstein smiled. "Most revolutions begin when someone does." The student pointed toward a nearby research building. "Come with me. I want to show you something even more surprising." Together, they entered one of the university's artificial intelligence laboratories. Students were speaking naturally to computers. Robotic arms assembled tiny electronic devices with astonishing precision. Einstein stopped beside one computer. "Who is answering those questions?" "The computer." "There is no scientist?" "No, only artificial intelligence." Einstein sat down. He typed his first question. "Can curiosity be programmed?" The computer replied almost instantly. "Curiosity can be simulated, but genuine curiosity remains a human characteristic." Einstein smiled, a wise answer. He typed another question. "Can you imagine something you've never learned?" The reply appeared. "Not as humans do." Einstein nodded. "Good. If imagination disappears, discovery disappears with it." He asked one final question. "Who taught you?" The answer came back. "Millions of human beings through books, research, and shared knowledge." Einstein leaned back quietly. "So, this machine has inherited humanity, our discoveries, our ideas, our mistakes." He looked at the students gathered around him. "The future of artificial intelligence depends entirely on the quality of human intelligence." The laboratory fell silent. The student finally spoke. "Professor, I think there's one more place you should visit." Einstein smiled. "The observatory?" The student looked surprised. "How did you know?" Einstein laughed softly. "When curious people build machines, they eventually point them toward the stars." The observatory stood quietly above the city as evening settled over the horizon. Inside, giant screens displayed images from the James Webb Space Telescope. An astronomer welcomed Einstein with a smile. "Professor, we'd like to show you something you spent a lifetime imagining." The lights dimmed. A glowing ring appeared on the screen. The first photograph of a black hole. Einstein stepped closer. For several seconds, he didn't speak. Then a gentle smile appeared. "So, the universe kept its promise." The astronomer nodded. "We finally saw what your equations predicted." Another image filled the screen. Countless galaxies, ancient stars, light that had traveled for billions of years before reaching Earth. Einstein stared in silence. We are not looking across space. We are looking back through time. The astronomer changed the display once more. Two black holes collided, sending invisible ripples across the universe. We detected gravitational waves, she explained. Einstein laughed softly. I always believed they were there. The student watched him carefully. Professor, after everything you've seen today, smartphones, artificial intelligence, black holes, what amazes you the most? Einstein looked out through the telescope toward the night sky. Not the machines, not the discoveries, the curiosity. He turned toward the student. Every generation answers a few questions and discovers 1,000 more. The student smiled. Do you think humanity will ever know everything? Einstein shook his head. I hope not. Why? Because a universe without mystery is a universe without adventure. They left the observatory and walked back through the city. The streets were alive with ordinary life. A young boy struggled to fix his bicycle. Before anyone asked, a stranger stopped to help. Einstein smiled. There. The student looked confused. There what? The greatest invention. The stranger finished repairing the bicycle. The child smiled and rode away. Einstein watched them disappear. We celebrate machines, but civilization survives because people still choose kindness. The student was quiet. For the first time that day, he wasn't asking questions. He was thinking. As they reached the university gates, Einstein stopped. One classroom was still lit. An old chalkboard stood quietly inside. He looked toward it and smiled. I have one last experiment. Einstein pushed open the classroom door. The room was empty. Rows of silent desks faced an old chalkboard. Moonlight filtered through the windows. He walked slowly to the front of the room and picked up a piece of chalk. For a long moment, he simply looked at the blank board. Then he began to write. Knowledge became infinite. He stepped back and read the words. After a brief pause, he wrote one more sentence beneath them. Wisdom is still a choice. The student stood beside him, reading the chalkboard in silence. Professor, if this were the last lesson you could ever teach, would this be it? Einstein smiled. Not quite. He placed the chalk gently on the ledge. My last lesson is much simpler. He turned toward the student. Technology will continue to become faster. Machines will continue to become smarter, but never allow information to replace understanding. To replace understanding. Never allow convenience to replace compassion. And never stop asking questions that make humanity better. The student looked at the chalkboard one last time. I think people needed to hear that. Einstein smiled. I needed to remember it too. Together they walked toward the classroom door. Before leaving, Einstein paused one final time. He looked back at the empty room, at the chalkboard, at the two simple sentences. Then he quietly said, "The future does not belong to those who know the most. It belongs to those who never lose their curiosity." He switched off the classroom light and stepped into the hallway. The room disappeared into darkness. Only the moonlight illuminated the words on the chalkboard. Outside, life continued. Children laughed. Scientists searched for new answers. Teachers inspired new students. And somewhere, someone asked a question that had never been asked before. Perhaps that is humanity's greatest achievement. Not that we have built remarkable machines, not that we have reached the stars, but that we still choose to wonder. Because every great discovery begins with a single question. If Albert Einstein spent one day in our world, what question do you think he would ask you? Tell us in the comments. And if you enjoyed this journey through time, subscribe to What If History, where history doesn't just remember the past, it imagines the future. Until next time, stay curious.